All right. Hello, world. Serena Williams here with your weekend update, or more like a weekly update, I guess. So, this past week, I had my first international circuit. Yay! Which I was completely freaking out about for about 4 days straight, or whenever I found out and figured out that I was actually going. Um, to Canada, I guess. And it's like Canada is across the street, but it's still like it's a really big thing. So my first race was Harry Jerome, and I have no idea where that was, but that's where I was running. I didn't run very well, mainly because I was out of my element. I wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't doing the normal things that I normally do before a meet, or thinking how I normally think before I meet. So I had a bad race. I hit a hurdle and it just like threw me off, and everybody passed me, and I took like dead last. I'll make sure I'll show you guys links because I don't really care. You can Google it if you want and find it, but I'll find it for you guys and just post it. Um, so I guess the lesson I take away from that is pretty much just to think of things as if it's your normal training session, I should say, or I don't know. I guess I was so nervous that I just took me out of my element. So I had to learn how to calm down and just treat it like any other race that I've ever competed in. So then we traveled from Harry Jerome to Abbotsford, where Harry Jerome, we stayed. They gave us like hotels and stuff and food and all that other fun stuff. And it was Canada Day that day, so me and like a bunch of the other people that were there from the U.S. went and celebrated Canada Day. And we were like trying to drive around to find these fireworks because everyone was like, "Oh, they're gonna have fireworks on the beach or on the shore or whatever." So we're all like taking taxis to different locations, and in the end we didn't see any fireworks because the place that they told us where there were fireworks, they were not there. And so we went to this other place and they were like, "Oh, it's back where you came from." And then we're like, "No, they said they were here." And then someone else was like, "Oh, they're over there." And we're just like, "Forget it, we're not looking for fireworks anymore. So yeah, but outside of that, second meet was at Abbotsford. And we stayed in like these college dorms, and it was really cool because the group of people that actually went to Abbotsford were a few of them were the same that were at Harry Jerome, but some were new that I hadn't met before. But it was a really cool bonding experience because we stayed in the dorms and we had roommates, and the dorms were like there was like a communal area where we all could go and just talk about anything and everything. And surprisingly, we didn't talk about track all that much. I mean, you think you put a bunch of like track people together and all they want to talk about is like track. It's not true. We talked about almost everything you can think of. And then they had this cool like gaming area where you could go and play ping pong, pool. They had a TV there. The guys were playing video games. Of course, guys go play video games. What else could you play? We played music through like this boombox thing that they had there, and there was just like a bunch of cool games that we played. So we bonded even more, like playing games and getting to know each other, and that was really cool. That race, it was me and one other girl, so it was really weird. It was kind of like a U.S. race, I guess, but it was me and some girl, and we ran, and I won, and that was really fun because it was just like an all-comers meet here in the U.S., but it used to be a really big meet back in the day, which I'm not sure when back in the day was, but apparently it was really big, but it's not so big. But I would go to that meet again because the people there were really nice, and they made us like food. There was a picnic, I guess you could say. Not a picnic, sort of. They had a barbecue for us after the meet, so you had like Canadian style hamburgers and hot dogs and potato salad and cookies and chips and other stuff that we probably shouldn't have been eating, but we were eating anyway. So that was really cool, and the meet director and his wife were very nice. Everyone was very nice there, and it was a really cool experience. The third and final meet was the Victoria meet, in which we took a very pretty ferry ride over to Victoria. And the ferry ride, They said it was like an hour and a half long, but I honestly don't know how long it was. It felt like it was long, but then it also felt like it was really short. And I don't know if it's because the scenery was really distracting, so there was like tons of really pretty things going on while you're like on this boat, or if it actually took a long time and I was just oblivious to the fact that time was flying by. But it was probably one of the prettiest ferry rides I've ever taken. You got to see all of Victoria. We saw sea otters. And I forget what I called them. I just saw them and yelled something out, and everyone was laughing at me because I didn't yell out sea otter. I forget what I yelled out, but it wasn't sea otter. But it was very pretty, and we all took pictures. And of course, like, we took pictures of the otters, but you can't really like see them, so they're just like these little blurps in the ocean or whatever. But it was really pretty, and we all had fun and joked and laughed, and there was supposed to be some type of like interpretive dance, but I missed it, so that sucked. And then we got to the meet, and we stayed in more dorms, except we all had our own rooms, which was cool. And there was still a common area, but it wasn't the same feel as like the Abbotsford meet. But the whole Abbotsford group kind of like stayed together, so we were like our own little team, even though we had all met each other for the first time. It felt like we had all known each other for forever. That meet, the Victoria meet, went really well because I was calm. I actually warmed up how I normally warmed up. My thought process was the same as normal, and I was just really excited for that meet. I felt really good. I executed the first half of the race how I wanted to, and the second half of the race, I don't know what was going on. My trail leg was like really slow, and I just kind of finished the race. I took third, and I didn't run any of the times that I wanted to run or that I know I'm capable of running, but I was so happy with that race and I think it's just because I actually competed it how I would normally compete had it been a normal race in the States. So I had a lot of fun in that race. I actually got out of the blocks and over like the first 4 hurdles really well. If I can find the video on that, I'll post the link to that too. But of all the meets that I had, the Victoria race was the best race, even though I didn't run as fast as I wanted to. I'm really happy with that race. And I also ran the 100 in that race. I ran the 100 at Abbotsford too, but I'm never doing that again. After the 100 in Victoria, so I ran the hurdles, and then I maybe had like 10 minutes rest afterwards to run the 100 meters, and I must have ran like 20 meters and then was like dead tired afterwards, and I got like dead last in that race too, but I didn't even care. And I had like severe like booty lock, and just everything was hurting, and I was dizzy and like couldn't see anything, and I was hungry, and I was like, I just want to eat and lay down at the same time. So it was actually really annoying, but it was fun too at the same time, because now I know not to run a race like back to back. And you know, like training wise, normally like 8 minutes rest is full recovery, and someone pointed that out to me after I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired. They were like, yeah, but normally don't you rest 8 minutes? And I was like, yeah, that's kind of true, but I don't know, it was just different. Like, it was just different, so that doesn't apply. Like race, I guess race recovery and then practice recovery is two different things. So I learned that at that meet. But they had, all the meets, they had like the little kids that carry the basket, and they're like, oh, how are you? And I met one, her name was Carly, and she was really sweet and nice. She asked me how my race was going, or how it went. And I thought it was funny because I had 2 stickers on, like a 6 and a 7. They were on both sides of my like chest, and I was like, why didn't you guys tell me I had 2 stickers on? They just like let me walk around with 2 stickers on. But then she also pointed out to me that no one really talks to them, and I was just like, that's so sad, because they're there to help us like get our stuff to the end of the race. And I think it's important that we acknowledge the little kids that are there, because they do look up to us no matter how good or bad we are. In their eyes, we're like superhumans. So just a message to other athletes or track athletes, if you guys even watch this, like say hello to them, please. So I guess outside of that, or in conclusion, I had a really fun first international meet. And I look forward to going to more of them and experiencing more of that. And now that I've gotten the first one out of the way, I don't have to worry about freaking out before I fly over there because I know what to expect, kind of. So, yeah, that's all I have for you. If I think of more stuff to say, I'll just write it in my blog because that's what I normally do. But outside of that, thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer them. And have a good day. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.